So now that they're all pleated up, this is the amount of fabric it takes to make the pleated section of a kilt, which will be about this long in the end. Whatever your measurement is that you want to fill with a pleated section of skirt or kilt, triple it. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? You get lots of attention, Mao. Yes, you do. I know. You just hear me talking and you want to get involved in the conversation. Okay. So yeah, it is not an efficient use of material in any way, shape, or form, but I'm not the one making the order. I'm just the one filling it out. So now we got different stands for the camera, different positions in the room. Glasses on, and we'll seam two of these massive fucking pieces of material to pleat together, face to face to hide the seam. We're doing an experiment. We're using a lighter thread on the machine than I am used to being comfortable with. 1/2 inch seam allowance, long stitch. See if we can set up the tension properly so that it don't break the thread all the time. I'm used to and comfortable with using heavier thread. It seems to be pretty good. We'll tighten that a touch. I'm comfortable using heavier thread and heavier material building more durable things, but this order calls for a specific color, which I only have in a lighter thread, which don't make life easy at all. Just makes me worry, that's all. You might notice there are places the edges of fabric do not line up. That's fine. This is all going to be hemmed and covered and everything else, so little inconsistencies in the edges of the fabric don't matter. I'm still getting paid the same amount, and the garment's going to be just as strong as it would be otherwise. You got to worry about what it's going to look like when it's done, not what it looks like at the start when you're partway through. So yet another kilt. Okay. The smaller segment is going to be toward the back, which means I swing this way, which means I turn it around when I do the top stitch. A 1/4 inch top stitch, which again, from the edge of the presser foot to the needle is a 1/4 inch. So we don't have to sit and measure it out with a ruler. We know the measurements on the machine, of the parts of the machine, so we can just use that to get the job done and remain accurate. This whole seam is going to be hidden under a pleat. I have to make sure of that because I want it to look like the entire section of the pleat is one piece of fabric. So it don't matter too much what this looks like to begin with. But if anybody does see it, we want it to look good. Backstitch the ends, same as I did at the beginning. And we now have the full length that we need to pleat, which is fucking ridiculously huge. Let's see how big this is. I'll show you measuring this. Right, these are 60 inches. Start at one end. There's 60. There's 86. So, 86 inches long it is. More than 6 feet. More than 6 feet. That's good. 86 divided by 3. Let's see, how big do I have to make that? It has to be 76. I have 10 inches I can use back and forth to hide where that seam is inside a pleat, which is good. This is going to be towards the back, which means the pleats are going to go like this. I think. Nope. I'm wrong again. That being towards the back. Oh, wait a minute. Make sure you can see it. This being towards the back, the smaller portion of the fabric from the seam, means the pleats are going to go like this. So I got to measure where I'm pleating what and make sure that that seam ends up inside a pleat instead of outside, so it's hidden from view. All these little bits and pieces of engineering and math are a pain in the dick, but they got to be done to make the thing look good in the end. So I will I'll start measuring up where the pleats are going to be. I'll measure where that seam is going to have to be. Then I got to hem the bottom edge. Then I got to fold in and stitch each pleat along the edge to hold its fold and look better. Then I got to stitch the top edge of the pleats to hold them all together. So it's a lot of measuring and pinning the whole time. Before I do that though, I'm going to take these other two pieces, stitch them together to make my second side. And the extra 10 inches I have left over at the end, wherever I end up cutting it off, that will be used to go towards making the pockets, which, 2 little bag pockets that end up about 6 inches by 7 or 8, finished with a fold over top. That's easy. That is not a problem. I can make that out of the excess material I have, even after whatever of this roll is used. Okay, that being said, I'll bring it back after I put the hem on the bottom edge. So I got the hem put on the bottom edge of this. I marked out where all the pleats are going to be, and I'm pinning the forward edge, the fold of every pleat, all the way back. because those have to be stitched. Make things look nicer. Doesn't do a fuck of a lot, but it looks nicer. Come on, focus, you fucker. There. Now you can see what's going on. So it is one seam, 1/8 of an inch in, so half the distance from the edge of the parser foot to the needle, so half of one of those toes on the parser foot. Or less, you know, how much space as you can manage to accurately place. As we go along, we pull out the individual pins after we go over them. You can probably tell I'm not incredibly excited about making another kilt. It's not that I have anything inherently against them. I mean, I've made several before, but I've made so fucking many kilts before in recent times. I'm just kind of bored of them. Where did my... Oh, there it is. What have we done? 3, 4, at least 5 in recent memory. I know I've done so many before that they're just not interesting to me anymore. Everything's so repetitive and they're so, I don't know. Inefficient with fabric. Anything pleated takes up so much excess fabric. You know, like I said, it triples the amount of fabric of a given plate on a pattern just for being pleated. Makes me work more. Not like I get paid a lot more for doing this type of thing either. For something big like a kilt, a pair of jeans, a large jacket, a dress, something like that, I end up making minimum wage. Yeah. I can't say it's a bad thing, but I could be doing multiple smaller pieces for lower individual prices that would make me more per hour because I'm able to do more work in a given amount of time, get more product done. doing this one a little bit off kilter here. Yeah, kilter. Kilter. Yeah. I'm doing it in a little odd way. I'm not doing each step on all the separate segments at the same time. I'm doing this side first, connecting it to the yoke, getting all of that side in one piece before I start on the other side. I don't usually do that, but at this point it's a means of alleviating the repetition. So I'm not doing the same thing over and over and over again. I get to change what I'm doing a little bit at a time. These will be finished in the same schedule. Price is the same. I just turned out a little saner at the end. Keep doing this until I run out of rows of pins, which is going to be a while. How about this? I'll show you when it's done.